Hello and welcome. I'm Asuma Katauka and you're watching the World Report on NewsX World. Let's take a look at some of the headlines of this hour. Russian officials have arrived in Geneva for talks with US and Ukrainian teams aimed at ending the years-long conflict in Ukraine. US President Donald Trump hopes Ukraine reaches a deal with Russia fast. US President Donald Trump said that would be involved indirectly in high-stakes talks between Iran and the US over Tehran's nuclear program in Geneva, adding he believed Tehran wanted to make a deal. Bangladesh's Prime Minister-to-be Tariq Rahman and lawmakers are sworn into parliament, becoming the first elected representative since a deadly 2024 uprising.
I have tremendous respect for both.
President Donald Trump has said Cuba was a failed nation and called on Havana to make a deal. Washington is in talks with Cuba's highest people just days after he threatened the island's struggling economy with what he described as a virtual oil blockade. New Mexico lawmakers have passed legislation to launch what they said was the first full investigation into what happened at Zorro Ranch, where the late U.S. sex offender Jeffrey Epstein is accused of trafficking and sexually assaulting girls and women. A bipartisan committee will seek testimony from survivors of alleged sexual abuse at the ranch, located about 30 miles south of Santa Fe. Heavy rains and strong winds have lashed New Zealand in recent days, killing one man, flooding large areas and cutting power links to tens of thousands across New Zealand's North Island. French President Emmanuel Macron begins a three-day visit to India on Tuesday with talks focused on artificial intelligence cooperation and a potential multi-billion-dollar Dassault Rafale fighter jet deal. Three people, including the suspect, were fatally shot during a Rhode Island youth hockey game. Powhatan Police Chief Tina Goncalves told reporters that three other victims were hospitalized in critical condition. The shooter died from an apparent self-inflicted gun wound, as she has said. Now we start this hour with India. French President Emmanuel Macron has met personalities from the arts and culture world, including Bollywood personalities Shabana Azmi, Anil Kapoor, Manoj Bajpayee, Zoya Akhtar, Richa Chadha, and Grammy-winning music composer Ricky Kej during his ongoing visit to Mumbai. Meanwhile, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said in a post on X that it was a delight to meet his friend Macron in Mumbai. President Modi has also shared that Macron expressed his fondness for the city and had also enjoyed a morning run earlier in the day. This comes as Macron met Modi at the Lok Bhavan in Mumbai for a high-level bilateral discussion. Macron, accompanied by First Lady Brigitte Macron, arrived in Mumbai on Monday night for a three-day visit. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and Governor Acharya Devarat has welcomed the French delegation. The visit also marks the inauguration of the India-France Year of Innovation 2026, with a gathering of business leaders, startups, and innovators from both nations. Now we welcome my colleague and correspondent, Thomas Porteous, joining us live. Thank you very much, Thomas, for joining us. What can we expect from this visit?
Well, yes, assume a three-day visit for the French President Macron. Of course, he will be visiting Mumbai to start with, and then heading here to the AI Summit on the 19th, where he is expected as one of the staple guests along the other 20 heads of state that will also be here in attendance. But before that, he arrives to New Delhi. He's expected to expand that strategic partnership which he has with India. It was all smiles in Mumbai earlier today when Narendra Modi and Macron met one another in the city. But one of the most significant deals that will possibly be signed is this defense agreement between the French and the Indian government, which will see 114 Rafale fighter jets signed from France, where they are manufactured, over to India. Now, this would be one of the largest defense purchases in Indian history if it indeed does go through. We, of course, don't know whether that will go through this time or on some other future visit by either Macron or part of his delegation. However, of course, why this matters. India has long wanted to reduce dependence on Russian military hardware, of course something which it does rely and thrive on as Russia continues its war in Ukraine, and India of course has that newly signed trade deal with the United States. India wants to move where is strategically sound. Right now that's seemingly away from Moscow very lightly. But of course, we'll all be watching here, especially in New Delhi, for Macron's appearance at the AI summit here, where he is expected to address a full crowd alongside other heads of state and leaders and tech CEOs, as I've said. There's also, of course, this strategic partnership and Horizon 2047 roadmap in India, which France is a part of, where the two counterparts plan to access progress and push forward cooperation, this strategic framework aligning France and India ties through India's centenary year. So we've got all that and more expected out of this 3-day visit, where the French president will move from Mumbai over to Delhi, of course concluding with that speech here at the AI summit in the Indian capital.
Thank you, Thomas, for sharing that. Lastly, how is the excitement and ambience like in the AI summit today? Please tell us more.
Well, of course, it's an extremely busy day. It's been it's been very much buzzing with numerous speeches tackling all sorts of challenging topics, especially, of course, that of AI being accessed by all. As we've seen many speeches and of these tech CEOs where they've been speaking about AI in agriculture, AI in health, and India very much wanting to become not just a follower of those AI rules, but an architect as it leads the summit into its second day. But of course, the climax will come when these geopolitical leaders will attend the summit. We have, as we've said, Macron, and Brazil's president is also going to be here, Luis da Silva, as well as world-leading CEOs in the field like Sam Altman. We have some new developments as well, that Bill Gates will now not be attending. Of course, he is in the midst of a controversy. So the founder of Microsoft will not be attending here, but everyone in artificial intelligence, that is somebody, will be here, apart from Bill Gates and, of course, Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, who also pulled out due to unforeseen circumstances. But we're not even halfway through yet here at the Bharat Mandapam, and of course we'll continue to bring you it every step of the way live here on NewsX World.
Yes, we will be doing that. Thank you very much, Thomas, for joining me and sharing that insight. Thank you. Now we also welcome Ambassador Veena Sikri. She's a former High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much, Ambassador Sikri, for joining us again. Good to see you. Now, looking at France and India, how significant is this visit by Macron for 3 days, and the defense cooperation pact that's supposed to be taking place? What can we expect more from this?
Well, I think President Macron's visit is a very important visit. I think that it's his fourth visit to India, his first to Mumbai, and he has visited India on very important occasions. He's been the guest for India's Republic Day, the chief guest on India's Republic Day. He was there for the G20 summit in India, and he has stood by Prime Minister Modi. For example, when the International Solar Alliance was set up a few years ago, President Macron was there, the inaugural side by side with Prime Minister Modi, inaugurating the International Solar Alliance. And this time for the Artificial Intelligence AI Impact Summit, which is the first to be held in a country of the Global South, President Macron is once again in India and he's going to participate in the summit with Prime Minister Modi tomorrow. So I think that his visit is a strong example of the significance that President Macron attaches to the relationship with India. You know, after the conclusion of the India-EU free FTA, the trade deal, described very often as the mother of all deals, it's important to realize that actually the implementation of this deal is done through the bilateral trade with individual EU countries. And among these, I think the bilateral trade between India and France is certainly one of the most important targets that will get a sudden boost, will get a great boost. After all, if champagnes and wines are going to come duty-free into India, they're going to be, a lot of them are going to be from France. So certainly India is looking to increase its trade with France, and that will be an important area of discussion. But France and India have a very, very robust defense cooperation, and one of the deals that is expected to be signed is one of the largest aircraft purchase deals ever, the 114 Rafale fighter jets that Indian cabinet has approved for purchase from France. So let us see what happens on this item, but everybody is certainly looking very anxiously towards it. And in keeping with the strong defense cooperation between India and France, the annual defense dialogue is also taking place in Bangalore, and it is expected that they will discuss and agree upon a 10-year framework of cooperation between India and France, in the next 10 years. So that's really a very good indication of the seriousness with which we take our relationship with France. And we also know that there's a very, very strong cultural aspect, dynamic people-to-people, cultural-linked aspect to the relationship between India and France. And in recognition of this, the India-France Year of Innovation 2026, which is going to have culture and technology and all innovative ideas, is taking place. It's inaugurating in Mumbai today at India Gate, and both Prime Minister Modi and President Macron will be there at India Gate for this important event. So I think all these show the very significance of this relationship: artificial intelligence, defense, space, submarines, maritime cooperation. Certainly they will discuss all the major issues of the world, which includes the Indo-Pacific, which includes the conflict in Ukraine, which includes the Gaza peace plan. All these will be the matter of the bilateral discussions which are taking place even as we speak in Lok Bhavan in Mumbai.
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Ambassador Veena Sikri, for joining us and sharing that insight with us. Thank you very much. India is hosting the highly anticipated AI Impact Summit at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. The summit, which will run until February 20th, brings together global leaders, innovators, and policymakers, including French President Emmanuel Macron, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva, and Brazilian President Lula da Silva, to explore AI's potential in shaping the future. The summit's theme reflects India's commitment to using AI for the greater good, striving for welfare and happiness for all. Our correspondent, Thomas Porteous, is on the ground covering the summit from Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. He has spoken to some attendees of the summit. Let's cut across.
Hi, my name is Thomas Porteous. You're watching NewsX World. We are here at the India AI Impact Summit, and we are joined by Abhishek. He is here at Blue Machines Technology. He's going to show us about this voice automated AI, how it works, the future of voice intimation systems. Take it away.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for introducing me. Let me start with a demo first of how our voice AI platform works, and then we'll take it from there. Hey, hi, CK. My day is going great. I just wanted to understand a bit more about Blue Machine's voice AI platform.
I think you meant Blue Machine's voice AI platform, right? It's designed to handle real work on calls, like understanding intent, running workflows, capturing data, and escalating when needed. It connects telephony with your enterprise systems, making calls faster and more efficient. What kind of business or use case are you thinking about for voice AI?
We are primarily in the banking sector. I'm primarily looking for use cases for selling my mutual funds or selling my loan products. Can you help me with that?
Absolutely. For banking sales like mutual funds and loans, Blue Machines can help qualify leads by capturing customer intent and eligibility right on the call. It can update your CRM automatically and route hot leads to your sales team. This speeds up follow-ups and ensures no opportunity slips through. Are these
Uh,
calls mostly
hey,
inbound
CK,
or
hold on.
interested customers or outbound outreach?
I wanted to, like in banking, like compliance and security are a really important problem, right? I mean, are you compliant? I mean, how do you handle compliance and security?
Sure. I'm now transferring your call to Kabir, our compliance and security expert. Hello, this is Kabir from Blue Machines. Could you please share which specific compliance regulations or security concerns are most critical for your banking industry?
We are looking for ISO certifications. We are also looking for SOC 2 compliances. Can you help me with that?
Yes, Blue Machines holds multiple relevant certifications, including ISO 9001, ISO 27001, ISO 27701, and ISO 42001. We also have
Yeah,
security
Kabir.
type 2 certification and HIPAA
I
client controls for
I
banks.
also have
These
few more
certifications demonstrate our commitment to security,
few
privacy,
more
and product quality.
questions.
Would you like details on any specific certification or how these align with your banking compliance needs?
No, Kabir. Can you help me with the deployment? How will the deployment cycle look like? How does deployment work in your case?
Sure, I'm now transferring your call to Tara, our deployment expert. Hi, I'm Tara from Blue Machines. Could you share which call, journeys, or workflows you're planning to deploy first?
We are trying to deploy multiple journeys and workflows. I think one of the most important journeys for us would be our loan product selling and support. Uh, that's
Thanks
about
for
it.
sharing.
Hello and welcome. I'm Thomas Porteous. You're watching NewsX World. We're here at the India AI Global Impact Summit 2026. We're in the conference hall checking out what's going on. We are now joined by two great men from Blue Machines Technologies. What we want to talk about is this is the first AI summit in the global south. We want to know about how artificial intelligence is benefiting the entirety of the population. How can your AI help people?
Firstly, thank you for the opportunity. We at Blue Machines AI are building enterprise voice agents to talk to customers at a population scale, which means that we have to ensure that all of these conversations are happening very, very contextually inside data and security guardrails. Now, to your question around how this benefits the sizable population in India, I think the applications for voice AI are very, very wide ranging. For a large majority of our country, chat is not a preferred medium of communication. So being able to communicate their issues, their concerns, or let's say their requests in voice as a medium is very, very important. So we work with enterprises, governments that are trying to reach out to these customers across sectors, right? Like getting access to credit, getting access to healthcare, getting access to education. A lot of this is getting democratized via voice as an education. We have examples from all of these sectors where a lot of customers are really benefiting both in the urban centers as well as rural centers.
And what about yourself? The ethics around AI is obviously, of course, questioned pretty frequently. And now we are seeing a summit like this, something that wouldn't be here 10 years ago. Of course, is very much at the forefront of technology now. What do you have to say about the people's concerns about certain ethical situations, like the overtaking of certain jobs, along with guardrails, which of course need to be in place when it comes to a technology like this? What more can you tell us about your company and how it is fulfilling those needs?
So for us, ethics and guardrails are at the center of what we do. It's a platform that is enterprise ready, government ready. So it's built with ethics, responsible AI, and sovereignty at the core of it. Your data resides in India or whatever country you're working out with. We have our own guardrail engine in place. So, for example, if you're talking to a general AI agent, I mean, a lot of times the problems you face that it'll hallucinate, it'll take you or answer questions that you don't want as an enterprise or a big company to answer, right? I mean, how do we solve this problem? How do we put guardrails around it so that it always adheres to your guidelines? It does never deviates from what your core proposition is. So we have put our special guardrail engine in place. So even if you try to uh, deviate our agent from the core path, it'll never do that. It'll always adhere to what it is told to do. Responsible AI is another thing that is very important for us and explainable. So every decision that it takes, every action that it takes, every tool that it calls, you can always see it on our dashboards. You can explain why a decision was taken a particular way. So a AI decision also has a way of arriving to that decision. So we enable that as well. On the last question around how does it affect jobs, etc. I think the way we look at AI is working with humans. It sort of amplifies what you do. A lot of use cases that we do, it sort of enables humans to do a lot of creative work, a lot of more important work which can only be done by human, and a lot of work that AI does in conjunction with what the humans are doing amplifies their ability. So if I can, let's say I can process 10 loans today, with the help of AI I can now process 100 or 1,000 loans. Imagine the kind of impact this has both on the customer, right? Because I really want a loan or I really want to buy a mutual fund. I'm just stuck because there is a bandwidth crunch at the other side. Today, we have resolved that and we've solved for that. So that makes it very different. And for a population like India, that sort of makes the big difference.
And gentlemen, tell me about starting a company here. I mean, the hunger certainly is here for it. I mean, I met a child who's 14 yesterday who's made his own startup. Tell me about the landscape for artificial intelligence, especially as a company founded here in India.
No, I think India is genuinely at the forefront right now in terms of AI technology adoption as well as building in AI. I think the Impact AI Summit for all of us is a moment of pride because this is where entrepreneurs like us are able to showcase the innovation and technology that our teams have been working hard upon. And not just us at Blue Machines, but everyone here is showcasing some kind of solution for the betterment of what's happening out there. So I think for us, this is a really proud moment. I think building in India is especially great for us because a lot of engineering talent that is required to build great AI systems, both at the foundational layer as well as the application layer, is present in India. Even I would say our counterparts in the West, a lot of Indian engineers are moving from here or have moved in the past, and the ones that are building. So I think we have the talent, we have the energy, we have the support, we have the policy here to be building, global scale companies from India for the world.
Indeed. And what about yourself? Can India be the next hub for strategic AI use?
Yes, I think on all the layers of AI, whether it's infrastructure, whether it's application, where it's building on agentic layer on top of that, I think India has seen a lot of adoption. Even if you look at global players, a lot of their adoption happens today in India as we are building out our own pieces on all these different layers, and India is playing on all of them today. I think India will be the next hub. Even with enterprises and government, I think generally what we have seen is the adoption curve is very good. Like people adopt AI fast, people are moving in a direction where they can use AI to solve a lot of their problems. So that is particularly very good for us.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us. It's a great pleasure joining us. Well, there you have it. Do stay with us here on NewsX World as we continue to bring you more from this summit as the day moves forward. Thank you so much.
Now we move on. Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei is striking a defiant tone as talks with the United States get underway. Khamenei says Washington will not succeed in destroying Iran and called any attempt to predetermine the outcome of negotiations idiotic. He has also pushed back against claims of U.S. military superiority, saying even the strongest armies in the world can sometimes be hit so hard they cannot get back up. These statements come as both sides signal caution and tough posturing, with no immediate details on the agenda or potential breakthroughs expected from the opening phase of these talks. The comments were carried by Iranian state media as diplomatic engagement begins. Let's listen into what he has shared.
رئیس جمهور آمریکا در یکی از صحبت‌های اخیرش گفته که 47 ساله که آمریکا نتوانسته جمهوری اسلامی رو از بین ببره. شکایت کرده به مردم خودش. 47 ساله که آمریکا نتوانسته جمهوری اسلامی رو از بین ببره. این اعتراف خوبی است. بنده میگم تو هم نخواهی توانست این کار.
Now for this discussion, we welcome Mr. Peter Baum. He's the editor at Weekly Blitz, joins us live from London. Thank you very much, Mr. Peter, for joining us again. Good to see you. Now looking at this, it seems like both Iran and US are not backing off on their demands. What are we to expect from these talks then? And especially as, these kind of statements are issued by Iran.
Yeah. Don't forget the Iranians aren't making any demands. The Iranians are responding to the demands made by the Trump administration, and those demands have remained consistent since the start of negotiations. And let's just reflect what those US demands are: to stop enriching uranium, to stop production of ballistic missiles, to stop weaponizing and supporting proxy groups, and to stop the clampdown on the domestic protesters. The US have been consistent with that. The Iranians have tried their best to delay the negotiations, which they have, but that suits the Americans because all their military hardware is not yet in place for any action if needed. And it suits the Iranians, who are vying for time in the knowledge that they cannot withstand any kind of military onslaught from the Americans, probably supported by the Israelis. So the rhetoric coming from the Ayatollah and various members of his cabinet is to be expected. It's designed to placate the hardliners within the Iranian administration. I'm rather surprised at the language used. It seems almost puerile coming from the Iranians, which we haven't seen before. The demands of the Trump administration have been consistent from various members of the of his team, whether it's Witkoff or Marco Rubio more recently, and Lindsey Graham, who has been visiting Israel. So I think the Iranian statements, as I say, seem to be rather childish, rather puerile, but designed to give some kind of comfort to the hardliners within the regime.
Thank you very much, Mr. Baum, for sharing that insight. We are cutting across now. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron are addressing the press. Let's cut across.
आज के उथल पुथल से भरे युग में यह ग्लोबल स्टेबिलिटी और ग्लोबल प्रोग्रेस की पार्टनरशिप है। फ्रेंड्स, आज भारत में हेलीकॉप्टर असेंबली लाइन का उद्घाटन इस गहरे विश्वास का एक और उज्जवल उदाहरण है। हमें गर्व है कि भारत और फ्रांस मिलकर माउंट एवरेस्ट की ऊंचाइयों तक उड़ान भरने वाला विश्व का एकमात्र हेलीकॉप्टर भारत में बनाएंगे और ये पूरे विश्व को एक्सपोर्ट भी करेंगे। यानी इंडिया फ्रांस पार्टनरशिप knows no boundaries. It can reach from deep oceans to the tallest mountain. Friends, वर्ष 2026 भारत और यूरोप के संबंधों में एक टर्निंग पॉइंट है। कुछ ही दिन पहले हमने यूरोपियन यूनियन के साथ भारत के इतिहास का सबसे बड़ा और महत्वाकांक्षी फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट किया। यह फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट भारत और फ्रांस संबंधों में भी अभूतपूर्व गति लाएगा। आपसी निवेश को बढ़ावा देने के लिए आज हम एग्रीमेंट कर रहे हैं जिससे हमारे लोगों और हमारी कंपनीज को डबल टैक्स न देना पड़े। इन सभी पहलों से आपसी ट्रेड, इन्वेस्टमेंट और मोबिलिटी को नई ऊर्जा मिलेगी और यही शेयर्ड प्रॉस्पेरिटी का रोड मैप है। फ्रेंड्स, इंडिया फ्रांस ईयर ऑफ इनोवेशन के लॉन्च से अब हम अपनी स्ट्रेटेजिक साझेदारी को पार्टनरशिप ऑफ द पीपल बनाने जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि इनोवेशन आइसोलेशन में नहीं, कोलैबोरेशन से होता है। इसलिए इंडिया फ्रांस ईयर ऑफ इनोवेशन में हमारा लक्ष्य लोगों के बीच संपर्क को मजबूत करने का है। डिफेंस हो या क्लीन एनर्जी, स्पेस हो या इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज, हर क्षेत्र में हम अपनी इंडस्ट्री और इनोवेटर्स को कनेक्ट करेंगे। स्टार्टअप्स और एमएसएमईज के बीच मजबूत नेटवर्क बनाएंगे। हमारे स्टूडेंट्स और रिसर्चर्स के आदान प्रदान को और सुगम बनवाएंगे और इसके साथ साथ जॉइंट इनोवेशन के नए सेंटर भी तैयार करेंगे। फ्रेंड्स, आज हम क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स, बायोटेक्नोलॉजी और एडवांस मटेरियल्स में अपना सहयोग और प्रबल कर रहे हैं। हम इंडो फ्रेंच सेंटर फॉर एआई इन हेल्थ, इंडो फ्रेंच सेंटर फॉर डिजिटल साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी और नेशनल सेंटर ऑफ अलायंस फॉर स्किलिंग इन एरोनॉटिक्स लॉन्च करने जा रहे हैं। और यह मात्र इंस्टीट्यूशंस नहीं है, ये फ्यूचर बिल्डिंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स है। फ्रेंड्स, आज दुनिया अनसर्टेनिटी के दौर से गुजर रही है। ऐसे माहौल में इंडिया फ्रांस पार्टनरशिप एक फोर्स फॉर ग्लोबल स्टेबिलिटी है। हम फ्रांस की एक्सपर्टाइज और इंडिया के स्केल को जोड़ रहे हैं। हम ट्रस्टेड टेक्नोलॉजीज विकसित कर रहे हैं। हम इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस, इंडिया मिडिल ईस्ट यूरोप इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर यानी आईमैक और ज्वाइंट डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट के माध्यम से ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट सुनिश्चित करेंगे और मल्टीलेटरलिज्म, डायलॉग और डिप्लोमेसी से स्थिरता और समृद्धि के प्रयासों को बल देते रहेंगे। फ्रेंड्स, भारत और फ्रांस दोनों लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों, रूल ऑफ लॉ और मल्टीपोलर वर्ल्ड में विश्वास रखते हैं। हम एक मत है कि ग्लोबल इंस्टीट्यूशन के रिफॉर्म से ही ग्लोबल चैलेंजेस का समाधान निकलेगा। यूक्रेन, पश्चिमी एशिया या फिर इंडो पैसिफिक, हम हर क्षेत्र में शांति के सभी प्रयासों का समर्थन करते रहेंगे। आतंकवाद के हर रूप और स्वरूप को जड़ से मिटाना हमारी साझी प्रतिबद्धता है। फ्रेंड्स, भारत और फ्रांस दोनों ही प्राचीन और समृद्ध सभ्यताएं हैं। हम अपने कल्चरल और पीपल टू पीपल टच को बहुत महत्व देते हैं। हमें बहुत खुशी है कि युगे युगिन भारत म्यूजियम में हमारा सहयोग रहा है और अब लोथल के नेशनल मैरीटाइम हेरिटेज कॉम्प्लेक्स में भी हम फ्रांस के साथ सहयोग करने जा रहे हैं। भारतीय संस्कृति को फ्रांस के लोगों के और समीप पहुंचाने हम जल्द ही फ्रांस में स्वामी विवेकानंद कल्चरल सेंटर खोलने जा रहे हैं। योर एक्सेलेंसी, भारत फ्रांस पार्टनरशिप के प्रति आपकी गहरी प्रतिबद्धता रही है। मुझे विशेष खुशी है कि आज हम मिलकर अपने संबंधों के एक नए अध्याय का शुभारंभ कर रहे हैं। आइए हम मिलकर वैश्विक स्थिरता और समृद्धि के लिए काम करें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मेसी बको।
Thank you, sir. May I now request His Excellency, Mr. Emmanuel Macron, President of the French Republic, to give his remarks to the media.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Premier ministre. Cher Narendra Modi, Mesdames, Messieurs les ministres, les ambassadeurs, Mesdames et Messieurs les journalistes. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Premier ministre, pour votre accueil chaleureux à l'occasion de ma 4e visite officielle en Inde et 1 an après
भारत के मेरे चौथे आधिकारिक दौरे पर आपकी गर्मजोशी भरे स्वागत के लिए
l'intelligence artificielle et
और ये मैं AI की समिट के लिए और भारत और जो आपने कहा, हम जब आप पिछले साल फ्रांस में आए थे और जब हम मार्सेई गए थे और जो आपने मार्सेई के बारे में बात की, वहाँ पर हमने एक भारतीय काउंसुलेट का भी उद्घाटन किया था। भारत और फ्रांस के बीच के द्विपक्षीय जो संबंध है वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा अभूतपूर्व है और सबसे अलग है। जैसे कि हमारी आज की बातचीत हुई थी और जो हम आगे भी करते रहेंगे आज पूरे दिन में, जो ये रिश्ते हैं, जो ये संबंध हैं, उनमें भरोसा है, खुलापन है, महत्वाकांक्षा है और हमने ये भी आज निर्णय लिया है कि हम इस साझेदारी को एक विशेष स्ट्रेटेजिक साझेदारी में बदलेंगे और इसका एक नया दर्जा देंगे। ये इसमें कोई शक नहीं है क्योंकि हमें पूरी तरह से इस रिश्ते में हम भरोसा रखते हैं और पिछले 8 सालों से हम यही कर रहे हैं और हर एक साल हम अलग अलग चीज़ों पर काम करके हमने एक नए रास्ते, कई नए रास्ते चुने हैं, जैसे कि तीसरा रास्ता जो हिंद प्रशांत क्षेत्र का हो या फिर तकनीक का हो या फिर, और जिसमें हम ऐसा रास्ता है जिसमें कोई भी हेजेमनी ना हो किसी, और हम पूरी तरह से कानून में, रूल ऑफ लॉ में विश्वास करते हैं। और कुछ पिछले सालों में हमने ये दिखाया है, दर्शाया है, चाहे वो IMEC हो जो जिसको हमने मिलकर हमने जिसका हमने शुरुआत करी थी और जिसके लिए हमने एक सेक्रेटेरिएट भी खोला है। और फिर हम अगर हम आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की बात करें, चाहे हम इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस की बात करें, इन पिछले 8 सालों में हमने कई पहल एक साथ उठाए हैं। और अगर मैं द्विपक्षीय रिश्तों पर फिर से आऊँ तो हमारे जो महत्वाकांक्षी रिश्ते हैं उसके लिए हमने नए उद्देश्य तय किए हैं। हमने अपने SMEs और स्टार्टअप्स के लिए भी नए उद्देश्य रखे हैं। फ्रांस जो है वो चाहता है कि वह भारत का एक विश्वसनीय साझेदार हो ताकि हमारे जो उद्योग हैं वो एक अद्वितीय सहयोग प्रदान कर सके। अगर हाँ, जैसा कि हमने चाहे राफाल हो, चाहे सबमरीन्स हो चाहे वो ये जो हेलीकॉप्टर्स के लिए जो फाइनल असेंबली लाइन जो टाटा एडवांस्ड कंपनी जो है वो मिलकर फ्रांस के साथ कर रही है, या फिर जो 5th जनरेशन के जो फाइटर जेट्स हैं उनके लिए जो इंजन्स हैं उनकी नई सोच, उनके लिए ऐसे कई जो क्षेत्र हैं जहाँ पर हम मिलकर भारत के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पर हम टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर में विश्वास करते हैं, और जैसा कि आपने चाहा है हमने वैसा ही करने का प्रयास किया है। और हम दोनों ही जो है वह जो रणनीतिक स्वायत्ता है उसमें विश्वास करते हैं। आपने रक्षा क्षेत्र की भी बात करी, मैंने भी उसके बारे में कहा, लेकिन कई ऐसे और भी ऐसे और क्षेत्र हैं जिसमें हमारी जो सोच है वो साझा सोच है, चाहे वो अंतरिक्ष का क्षेत्र क्यों ना हो। कई और इस क्षेत्र में कई सालों से हमारा जो रिश्ते हैं वो बेहतरीन हुए हैं, वो आगे बहुत मजबूत हुए हैं। और इसीलिए जुलाई में जो फ्रांस में एक शिखर सम्मेलन का हम आयोजन करने जा रहे हैं अंतरिक्ष के क्षेत्र में, उसमें हमने भारत को भी निमंत्रण दिया है। और चाहे वो सिविल न्यूक्लियर का क्षेत्र हो, उसमें भी चाहे जाता पर हो चाहे SME हो, हमने इन सभी परियोजनाओं में भारत का समर्थन करने का निर्णय लिया है। और हम एक कॉमन रोड मैप के लिए भी हम काम कर रहे हैं, ताकि अगर जो वैश्विक जो चुनौतियां उनका सामने करने के लिए, ताकि हम एक रास्ता निकालें विश्व के लिए जो हेजेमनी से काफ़ी अलग हो। अगर एरोनॉटिक का क्षेत्र ये भी एक अहम क्षेत्र है, और जो हम हाई स्पीड रेल नेटवर्क की बात करते हैं वो भी एक क्षेत्र है जिसमें हम एक भरोसेमंद साझेदार के रूप में उभर रहे हैं। अभी जो हाल में ही हमने प्रधानमंत्री जी के साथ जो बातचीत करी है वो काफ़ी महत्वाकांक्षी है, और वो नए उद्देश्यों को लेकर साथ आई है। और क्योंकि हम जो चाहते हैं वो हमारे रिश्तों में महत्वाकांक्षा और भी आगे बढ़े। हम चाहते हैं कि बेहतरीन टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफ़र हो और भी ज़्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफ़र हो। और इसे भारत के प्रधानमंत्री के साथ हम आज जो है वो आज जो हम इनोवेशन ईयर का जो उद्घाटन करने जा रहे हैं, हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे जो निवेशक हों, चाहे वो हमारे स्टार्टअप्स हों, चाहे हमारी कंपनियां हों, वो R&D सेंटर्स हों या और सेंटर्स हों, मिलकर काम करें। ये पूरी तरह से हमारी जो सोच के अनुरूप है, जो और जिन पर हमारे जो मंत्रीगण हैं उन्होंने अपनी बैठकों में जिन पर बातचीत करी है। अगर आपने जो एक स्वास्थ्य के क्षेत्र में AI की जो बात करी है, हम कल मैं एम्स अस्पताल में इसका उद्घाटन करूंगा, और ताकि हम जो ये नवाचार है या इनोवेशन है ये हमारी जो संबंध है उसके केंद्र में हो, हम हमारी अर्थव्यवस्थाओं की वृद्धि के केंद्र में हो। नवाचार इनोवेशन जो किसी भी तकनीक के केंद्र में हो, और जो हमारे 2047 के जो हमारे होराइजन रोड मैप है उसके भी पूरी तरह से अनुरूप है। वो पूरी तरह से हमारे जो उद्देश्य हैं उनको परिभाषित करता है, और जो हमारे लिए महत्वपूर्ण है। चाहे आपने शोध की बात करी, टेक्नोलॉजी की बात करी, हमारे विद्यार्थियों के आदान प्रदान की बात करी है। कल दिल्ली में मैं कई उच्च स्तरीय जो हमारे विश्वविद्यालयों और वैज्ञानिकों के बीच में जो एक बैठक होने जा रही है रश के अंतर्गत, उसमें मैं भाग लूँगा। मेरे ख्याल से पिछले कुछ साल में शायद हमारी जो व्यापार है या हमारे जो संबंध है वो बहुत तेज़ी से आगे नहीं बढ़ पाए, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि धीरे धीरे ये हमारे जो संबंध है बहुत तेज़ी से आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। और हम चाहते हैं, और हमने कई ऐसे क्षेत्रों को हमने जो है उनको हमने आइडेंटिफाई करा है कि उन क्षेत्रों को हमें तेज़ी लानी चाहिए, ताकि ये जो संबंध हैं और भी बेहतरीन और भी आगे जाएं। इसमें हम ट्रांजिट वीज़ा की भी हमने बात करी है जो फ्रांस में के लिए लेना पड़ता है, और हम इस पर अध्ययन करेंगे कैसे इसको हटाया जा सकता है। कल मैं एक फ्रेंच इंस्टीट्यूट में नए जो सांस्कृतिक मध्यस्थ हैं उनसे भी बातचीत करूंगा, कल्चरल मीडिएटर से बातचीत करूंगा, क्योंकि फ्रांस और भारत दो ऐसे देश हैं जिनको विश्व को बहुत कुछ देने के लिए है। आज जो हम गेटवे ऑफ इंडिया पे जिस तरीके से हम रोशनी करेंगे और वहाँ पे जो हमने कार्यक्रम का आयोजन किया है वो भी इसी के वो भी दर्शाता है कि कितना हमारे देशों के बीच में संबंध जो है वो नज़दीकी है। और हम इस जो एंटरटेनमेंट इंडस्ट्री, क्रिएटिव इंडस्ट्री में भी हमने ये कहा है कि हमें को प्रोडक्शन करने चाहिए, और ये एक हमने एक महत्वाकांक्षा नया उद्देश्य अपनी क्रिएटिव इंडस्ट्रीज को दिया है, क्योंकि हमारी जो सोच जो है वो बिल्कुल एक जैसी है, चाहे वो सोच भारत के लिए हो या पूरे क्षेत्र के लिए हो या हिंद प्रशांत क्षेत्र के लिए हो, चाहे वो व्यापार के लिए क्यों ना हो, हमारी सोच जो है वो उसमें बहुत तालमेल है। हम पूरी तरह से खुले और व्यापार पर विश्वास करते हैं, इसीलिए यूरोपियन यूनियन और भारत के बीच में जो FTA हुआ है उसका हम स्वागत करते हैं, और इसमें हम चाहेंगे कि वो जल्द से जल्द आगे बढ़े। और हमारी सोच जो है वो बहुपक्षीयवाद पर भी पूरी तरह से तालमेल रखती है। कल मैं आपके साथ होऊंगा, और पिछले साल प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी फ्रांस में थे। हम पूरी तरह से वैश्विक प्रतिस्पर्धा में एक साथ मिलकर आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं, और मुझे लगता है कि हम ऐसे मॉडल दुनिया को दे सकते हैं कैसे एक दूसरे के साथ काम किया जाता है। और इस संबंध में मैं कहना चाहता हूँ कि हम दोनों चाहते हैं कि हम ऐसे आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का निर्माण हो जो एक दूसरे का सम्मान करे, जो लोगों का सम्मान करे, जो भूपक्षवाद का सम्मान करे, और जो अलग अलग भाषाएं हैं उनका सम्मान करे, क्योंकि हमारा विश्व जो है वो विविध है, उसमें बड़ी अलग अलग तरह के लोग, अलग अलग चीज़ें होती हैं, लोगों की संस्कृति अलग है, और हम चाहेंगे कि जो एल्गोरिदम्स हों वो पारदर्शी हों, वो ट्रांसपेरेंट हो, खुले हों। और ये भूपक्षवाद एक ऐसा भूपक्षवाद है जिसका हम इस्तेमाल बड़े बड़े जो संघर्ष है विश्व में उसका समाधान करने में भी इस्तेमाल करना चाहते हैं, जो पूरी तरह से संयुक्त राष्ट्र चार्टर के अनुरूप हो। हम चाहते हैं कि हम अपने जो प्रयास हैं वो एक साथ लाकर कि जो यूक्रेन में जो लोगों के ऊपर या सिविल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है उन पर जो हमले हो रहे हैं उनके लिए मिलकर हम काम करें ताकि उनको रोका जा सके। और हम चाहते हैं कि हम आतंकवाद के खिलाफ भी अपनी लड़ाई को बनाए रखें, और हम सभी जो आतंकवादी समूह हैं उनको हम नकारते हैं। और इस साल, इस 2026 की अगर हम बात करें तो ये जो वर्ष है ये हमारे सब